In this video, I'm going to discuss about destructuring the props. Also, destructuring is a topic of Vanilla JavaScript, but we are going to see how it works, and then we're going to see it's working through the props too. Let's get into it. So if you remember from last time, we had passed list item of content, this variable as a prop to list, and rendered this out in list item. Let me run it again. Wait. So I made this variable in app.js list item, passed it to the list, then rendered it there. And the approach that we used was like just set like props and it give us the props. Let's move to, for example, like if we have two props, let's and I pass this prop to list item 2. I'm going to say, I can name it anything, but I'm going to name it the same as the name of the variable. And if I want to render out that prop, I would have to say props dot second prop, and it rendered out there. In same way we can have more than like one prop. We can have 3 props, 10 props, 20 props. But the thing is, when we are passing the props, we should use destructuring. And what is destructuring? Destructuring helps you only extract the certain items or certain properties. For example, like we passed in 3 properties and then we want to extract only one out of that. And we can do that with the help of destructuring. So for example, I making an object, and I'm going to say name can see here person equal curly brackets person. But let's assume like we only need the name and age out of this prop. So to do that, we can say in the list, I want to take out list item. So if I put in these curly brackets and directly say out the name, I don't have to say props dot anymore. I'm just directly extracting the variables and props, and I'm going to extract the second prop. I'm going to extract the third one too, which is person. And from the person, I want to extract only the, for example, name. I can say let me name equal person. So that will only give me the name from that object. And this method is called destruction. I would have to remove this all because these won't work anymore. If I inspect it, go to my console, and you see that John. So that is how like I extracted only the name. And if I wanted multiple, I can say name it's city. And if I say here name comma city, I would see John and New York, and I can render them out here too. City. If you even wanna like make it more shorter, you can use the spread operator. So for example, right now, if you see like I'm extracting it out from the person, and this is like coming from this object, and inside of that object there is one more object. So I can make it one object by saying just curly brackets dot 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 and the person, and now it will be in the same object. This whole will be considered the props because it doesn't even have a name, and all of these properties will be appended in this props. And we can see that by saying props. Let me just comment these out for now. Notice list item, age, city, list item, name, second prop, all of them now got added to one object. So this is again a useful method. Like if you don't wanna go into the nested objects, you can use this method. And if I wanna now go with this, I wouldn't have to say person here. I can directly say name or age. That's it. Or name and city actually. I can remove this and it would directly work out. I can say name here, John and New York. I don't have to extract it from another object, which is the props object. So that is a little bit of a destructuring method that comes helpful when you want to extract the certain properties out of past properties or past objects. You can even use this let my list, we can use array to let my list equal, I can say item 1, and if I want to pass this one for this arrays, actually this separate operator doesn't work. So you have to pass in the whole object, or sorry, whole array, or you can pass a clone of that. And you can make a clone using the spread operator or using slice method. But I'm gonna pass in the whole array. I'm gonna say and here I'm gonna say my list. Let me see. Let me see my list. So here are my list items. If I want to render out my list items like item 1, 2, 3 here, let me just get rid of all of these items now. My list into 0, because as you know, like array values start from the array values use indexes, 0 index. Like the first value is going to be at 0 index, like at 0 position, it is going to be item 1. At first position, it's going to be item 2. At second position is going to be item 3. So 0, 1, 2. So if I say my list into 0, that will give me the first value. And if I say 1 here, that will give me the second value, and so on. So here are all these renders. But the question is, like, if I had 100 items, that wouldn't be really practical, like making them duplicates again and again by saying 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there's going to be 100 lines of the code. And that will be repetition, and it wouldn't be dynamic. Like if any item comes in later on, and or we delete some item, and that will make in some error. For example, like I remove an item later on, I don't need this item anymore, and I try to go to my browser, it will give me error. So this is just an empty one. It's not showing anything. So that is the problem that we want to avoid. So to do that, like automatically figure out like how many items are there, and based on that show all the items, we use map. Map actually runs or do what is runs a for loop another. So I'm going to say my list dot map, and I can name it anything here. You can say like for now, because these are items, I'm going to say current item. It doesn't really matter what you name it. And this is going to be arrow syntax function. This call is a function. It is called callback function. I'm making or calling a callback function inside of the map, and map accepts the callback function. And there is a video on the map already on my channel. You can check out that too. And I want to do is what I want to return, because map always returns something. I want to return what I want to return the list item. And in list item, I want to say like item, for example, for now, item 1. So notice this you will notice that item 1 will be rendered on the screen 3 times. It's because I said like item 1 and there were how many items? 3 items. But it's not rendering the actual items, that's fine. To render out the actual items, I would have to say here curly brackets, and whatever the name that you specify here, I have to say the same name here. Current item here, and they render out item 1, 2, 3. If I say here current element, then you would have to say current element here. It's a parameter or a placeholder for your function, which is what you decide. So that is how it renders out item 1, 2, 3. If I later on add in my item 4, it will automatically, map will automatically figure that out for you and render out that too. But this throws in a warning which says warning, each child in a list should have a unique key prop. To get rid of this warning, we have to assign them unique list items like numbers, like this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. Right now they cannot really distinguish between each other, or they are not unique from each other. If you have IDs or you're using some database, you can use IDs from there, but right now, as you know, like we don't have any IDs. So map provides us an optional parameter that we can take in. And again, you can name it anything, ID, index, whatever you want. I'm going to say index, and I'm going to say here key equal curly brackets index. So that means each list item will be assigned a unique index. Index actually starts from 0. For the first one list item, it will be 0. For the second one, it will be 1. And for the third one, it's going to be 2, and so on. Starts from 0. Let's refresh in the browser, and as you can see, like that warning went away. That was it for this video. We covered how to destructure the props and how to use map. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, have a good time.